the most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, race fans from all over. We're here tonight with the Northeast Racers presented by the LFOD Motorsports. We're right here in the great state of New Hampshire at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. These boys have those super late models out there right now practicing before we head into our qualifying session for the final race of the season. It is going to be a great one here from New Hampshire, but as always on a Sunday evening, it is Muth up here in the booth. I have my good friend from Al Smith here, the analyst tonight. Al, it is a track like none other that these guys have raced on.
No, it's a big, fast mile racetrack here. They call it the Magic Mile, located in Loudon, New Hampshire. And right now, it's an air temperature of 68 degrees, but the track well over 110 degrees in temperature. Going to make it a little bit slippery out there. Plus, putting them in the pack, you'll see a lot of drafting, side drafting, and a lot of changes for the lead, hopefully here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. And not only that, we're going to crown a champion tonight.
That's right, 2 drivers it has really come down to in the final race of the season, a sponsorship on the line here. It comes down to Jonathan LeMay and Danny Ware. Both drivers have a win in this 6-race little season playoff kind of thing here going on. And it comes down to just 1 point separating both of them for the chance for a sponsorship deal.
Yeah, both have had an outstanding season last week. Jonathan LeMay, Grayson, victory lane down at the Five Flags Speedway. What does that mean for tonight? That means he will have to start from the tail of the field, 25th on the grid, regardless of where he qualifies in here tonight, Roger. So a very tall order for the driver of that number 4.
We got to apologize for the thing on the screen there. A little bit of a leftover from a little while ago. Al and we were just live just a moment ago, and we hopped right over here to the New Hampshire Speedway here for the Northeast Racers tonight, presented by the LFOD Motorsports. So we'll take that off the screen, and we're getting to our regularly scheduled program. Practice, though, winding down. Right now, the Vermont driver of David Greenslid is at the top of the boards, and right there is that Jonathan LeMay. He is second. It's Alan Young in third, and Marcel Gravel sitting there fourth, and Kenny Thompson in the 39 rounds out that practice. But that just means now, as you see the yellow flag in the upper left-hand corner, we are going to get ready to go qualifying. 4 minutes, 3 laps. Actually, I believe it's just straight 4 minutes. Anybody can go out there and turn as many laps as they want, and one of the first drivers to come out here on the track. You see the number 4. You know the number, you know the name. It is Jonathan LeMay, as he is the first one to hit the track here in qualifying.
He's out there with his HS&G Erosion Control LLC number 4. LeMay working through turns 3 and 4 for the first time. He's going to hit the gas pedal off of turn number 4, and he'll be under the green flag for the first time lap here tonight. 4 minutes qualifying these drivers have, but now under 3 minutes as they work down in the corner number 1. You're going to see that middle to high line used here tonight, and you can even go a little bit further or a little bit lower. We could see 3 to 4 wide racing in these corners here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Well, we can get there, but first we got to get through this qualifying session. Another one of those strong competitors out there right now is the driver of the 37. That is going to be Brian Hoare, one of those strong competitors here from the Northeast, as he has a little bit of troubles coming out of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. That will hurt his qualifying attempt. Right now, only 2 drivers, LeMay and Lucas Hinckley right now, as Hinckley's going to work through turns 1 and 2, and he's going to go for a second timed lap, unlike LeMay. LeMay shut her down after just 1.
That'll put the number 37 of Brian Hoare. He'll go to the 5th spot on his first time lap. They get 3 laps to put in their best lap here tonight, so you'll see a lot of guys run their first lap, shut her down, and then come back out for a for their third lap on a second attempt, as the 37 of Hoare will come off of pit road. Right now, Jonathan LeMay setting the fast time, almost 2/10 in the bake over the 91 of Bankowski, who runs in your number 2 spot. Battle in third. That's your top 3. Greenslet and Carmen rounding out your top 5. Now Hodgson is going to move up to your 4th spot. So a lot of sliding going around. Drivers getting back out there on the racetrack to put in their second time lap. We will see if anybody can knock off the 4 of Jonathan LeMay.
Yeah, right now LeMay has the quick time still as you see him back out on track for his second time. LeMay, even if he gets the top spot here tonight and locks himself in, he will have to start shotgun to the field after his win from the Five Flags Speedway last week here on Sunday night. That's what we do here on a Sunday with the Northeast Racers. If you win, you start tail of the next main event. So right now, LeMay, how about Tony Quadros? He comes through here in his Illumio number 12. He goes to second quickest. How many times have we seen Quadros now? I believe this would be 3 weeks in a row if he could hold on for another minute of sitting at that second position.
Yeah, Tony Quadros comes into tonight third in the point standings, only 22 points behind LeMay and Danny Ware. So not out of the points championship realm right now, but he has a tall order to run. Danny Ware getting ready to come out for his qualifying lap, I believe, in that number 28 here pretty soon as he is getting up to speed. So he knows where his championship battle is on there. The 4 of LeMay sitting first with 30 seconds left. It's going to be tight to make it put a qualifying lap in for the 28 of Ware.
Actually, that is his first time there, Al. He goes 19th quickest on his lap, as there's one other driver that has not turned in a lap time, and there you see it. It's the Terminal Trucking number 3 of Matt Swanson as he comes out of turn number 4. Let's see if Swanson's going to put a time on the board. He will. It'll be 14th quickest, and that's going to end it. Jonathan LeMay and Tony Quadros going to line up on the front row here tonight. They will lock themselves in. I feel like we've seen this song and dance here just 2 weeks ago, I believe, when we went to the was it USA? I believe that was the front row for that race too.
Yep, so they'll lock themselves in. But let's the 4 of LeMay, fastest in qualifying, and he will have to start 25th on the grid. So from the in-house to the outhouse at the start of this one, but the good news is 75 laps of racing in store for him. But right now, heat race number 1 presented by the LFOD Motorsports, taken to the grid here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
And this is how your starting lineup here for heat race number 1 tonight is going to look. It's going to be the driver of the 24 of Alan Young and Jeffrey Battle right alongside him. That's row number 1. It's going to be Matthew Kimball in the 25, then lining up in the 3rd position. And it's going to be Tegan. Oh, Al, I had it. Now I lost it. It's Daniel sitting there in the 4th position. Starting on row number 3, it'll be the driver of the 77, the Northeast Racers LFOD Motorsports entry. It'll be the 77 of Kyle Bingham and Kevin Pitzinger in the number 30. Starting behind them, it'll be the driver, the American Canadian Tour man. That's going to be Brian Hoare in the 37 and Lucas Hinckley in the 8th spot. Lighting up tail of the field here for heat race number 1. It'll be the 02 of Cody Labette, as that is your final driver here, and this is his first time on Sunday night making a start with the Northeast Racers.
9 cars. You're going to take your top 5, and they will make it into the main event off of your top 5, and they'll lock themselves in. We already got 2 cars in. That's Tony Quadros, who qualified 2nd, and the 4 of Jonathan LeMay, your fast timer. They get to sit back and study with their notebook wide open on what's going to work here as the pace car works down the backstretch for the first time for heat race number 1. They are going to go green flag racing here. And we're going to get this party started, Roger. It's going to be a great day. Nice sunny day out here in the Granite State. We're going racing.
Yeah, we got to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We also got to thank the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association. This track here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, not one of the tracks, but it is in New Hampshire, and the pace car is down and away for the first time here on Sunday night. How about we go racing? Heat race number 1, 6 laps the distance, green flag, 9 drivers will barrel down here into turn number 1.
Side by side down in turn number 1. Jeffrey Battle going to battle his way on the outside off of turn number 2. He'll have the advantage over Young, but Young able to stay right with him. They're still side by side down to turn number 3. Daniel trying to figure out which lane's going to go.
Right now, though, it's still the front two. Here's Alan Young down to the inside in the 14 of Battle. Gonna lose a little ground. It's gonna be Alan Young. 1 lap in the book here tonight at New Hampshire. It is led by the pole sitter of Alan Young. Ken Heat now try and run away as he slides up the track a little bit. Here comes Battle looking back down to the inside, down to turn number 2. Here comes the Ford. It's the Ray Bestis Fusion. He's not going to have the run. They go single file out. The only driver that is side by side right now is Brian Hoare back there running about the 7th position.
Yeah, he dives it down in low underneath the 30 of Pittsinger. That's the battle for your 6th spot. The RPM Racing engine number 37 working to the inside. Side by side battle shaping up for your 4th spot. Kyle Bingham has 4th. Here comes the 25 of Kimball. He'll go down to the inside off of turn number 2. Kimball will take away that 4th spot. Bingham going to rifle back on the outside. Is the 14 of Battle. Got the wall off of turn number 2. This is our first of 3 heat races and only 4 laps to go. They're going to go quick here.
So coming to get 3 laps to go this time by as we still watch that battle for the 4th spot. 4th and 5th, it's Kyle Bingham and Matthew Kimball right now as they work the side-by-side back down into turn number 1. It doesn't seem like either one of these drivers really have the advantage right now. Al, we talked about the draft. Somebody's sideways. Cody in the 02 is sideways off of turn number 2, and Hinckley actually followed him right down there to almost into the grass. So the 02 NH right now, LeBlanc gonna go way down there, but he holds on to it.
Oh, contact off the corner. There goes the 30 of Pittsinger. Him and the 37 of Hoare made contact. 2 laps to go. Green flag stays out, but a tough break for the driver of the 37 and the 30 of Kevin Pittsinger as they work down the backstretch with just 2 laps to go.
Well, let's go back here and watch this real quick. What happened to those 2 drivers? They were side by side. They were running. Currently, at the time of incident, they were running in the 6th and the 7th position. As we watch the replay, you're looking at that 30. Jack Daniels' car. Oh, he comes down just a little bit for Pittsinger into Hoare off of turn 4. And that's what's going to kind of put them behind the 8 ball. But it's the final lap here tonight in heat race number 1.
Daniel has it. Battle trying to get back to the inside off of turn number 2. Can't do anything with him. It's the 25 of Kimball. He'll scrape the wall. But these guys are all solidly locked in to this 2 seconds back to the 31 of Hinckley as they come off turn number 4. It'll be Alan Young picking up the heat race win. Number 1 presented by the LFOD Motorsports. Daniel will finish 2nd. Battle 3rd. Kimball and Bingham in car number 77 making their way into tonight's feature event. Those are the 5 drivers that will transfer to the main event.
Well, congratulations to all 5 of those drivers here in heat race number 1. Brian Hoare going to come across the line. He will be our final driver across. Unfortunately, Hoare with a ton of damage to that 37 machine, and now he will have a lot of work to do in the last chance qualifier.
Heat race number 2 coming up onto the racetrack. And beat you to it, Roger.
Exactly what I was about to say, Al.
Hey, well, it's like we're in the same booth here or something. Anyway, how about this for the starting lineup for heat race number 2, presented by the LFOD Motorsports? It'll be the number 86 of Marcel Gravel. He'll start on the inside of row number 1. To his outside will be Fast Kenny Thompson in car number 39. Joel Hodgson in car number 36 will make up the inside of row number 2. To his outside, the 35 of Milton Duran. Ryan Carmen and Jeff Gallup make up row number 6. And starting in row number 4 will be the number 05 of Kyle Buck, Sean Boudreau in the number 60, and shotgun on the field is that McDonald's number 97 of Jarrett Howard. 9 cars slated to do battle here for heat race number 2.
Well, heat race number 2 coming your way here, race fans. What do you think? Another action-packed side-by-side race here at New Hampshire, possibly? I don't say possibly, Al. We know it's going to happen.
I was going to say, did you not pay attention to heat race number 1?
Yes.
Hey, Pace car off of the racetrack, hopefully for the only time it'll see it as they come off of turn number 4, waiting for Jeffrey, the flagman, to wave the green flag. We're underway. It'll be Gravel with a nice start with his hot karting number 86. He'll take the lead. Joel Hodgson working the inside of Kenny Thompson. That's a side-by-side battle for your number 2 spot.
Yeah, and it's heads up racing for a second on back through the field. Right now, Gravel is the only one that has his car tuned up. Now Kenny Thompson's going to get clear. So is Milton Duran. Hodgson going to go back there into the 4th spot. And then it's now a 3-car battle back here for the transfer spot. It's Carmen in the 08, Buck down to the inside and Gallup to the outside. Sideways for that yellow machine there. I believe that's the 44 of Gallup, who was sideways that time out of turn number 4. And here comes the 05 of Kyle Buck now to the inside. He's going to look to get around him, and that'll take over now. Buck into that 6th position.
Side-by-side battle behind him as Buck gets a little bit loose off of turn number 2. It'll be side-by-side with the 60 of Boudreaux. He's trying to make a move on the 97 of Howard as they battle back there for your 8th and 9th position. Up front, it is Marcel Gravel. He's opened up to a 0.2 of a second lead over Kenny Thompson. Milton Duran right there. Joel Hodgson, Ryan Carmen, your top 5. That'll be your top 5 that would be locked in with just 4 laps to go. Hodgson trying to make a move underneath the 35 of Milton Duran off of turn number 2.
Sideways back there for Howard in the McDonald's machine. These guys are doing battle. It's towards the back, and there was contact there between Boudreaux and Howard. Howard going to go up the track. He's going to lose that 8th position as Sean looks like he's having some handling issues himself, but this time by, we got the 3 to go, and it's Gravel with the lead, but look right behind him. Here comes fast Kenny Thompson in the 39 machine. That Ford Mustang going to dig down on the bottom. Not going to have the momentum off turn number 2 to pull side by side, so they will go back down the back straightaway into turn number 3, nose to tail.
The Toyota leading the Ford Mustang as the yellow flag is going to come out. I believe the 60 of Sean Boudreaux had trouble. The 97 of Howard may have been involved as well. They both are down pit road.
So as the 60 is already sitting down on pit road, let's take a quick look back here on our turn 3 racing replay. What actually happened here? We'll go from over top here as these two were throwing the haymakers back here. Howard and Boudreaux. You see Howard. Oh, there's the contact. Door slam from the 60 to the 97. Up the track goes the 97. What happens to the 60 here? Oh, the car goes sideways down the front straightaway. He was able to gather it up. And then we're watching. It looks like the 97 goes down into the corner, just drives the 60 right up the track, flips the 60. So, Al, maybe tempers flaring here in the 113 track temp in New Hampshire.
Yeah, not a good way to start, and it looks like the 97 of Howard has been asked to go to the Oval Office. So race officials not too pleased with that McDonald entry. But up front, how about the battle that fast Kenny Thompson with that Mustang? You know, I'm a sucker for those Fords. He had closed in on the backside of Marcel Gravel. So Thompson able to reel him back in. It's going to have 3 laps, green-white checkered situation coming here for the first time here tonight, presented by the LFOD Motorsports. Marcel Gravel having the control of this race, but Thompson had reeled him back in there.
Al, I'm speechless as you just threw me a lollipop, literally a lollipop on something that I could say about your Ford comment there and being a sucker about the Fords. But, you know, we're just going to let it go here on Sunday night. It's been a long day for not only yourself, but for me here behind the scenes at the Turn 3 Racing Network. A lot of events going on today over here. We've been jumping offices, jumping chairs, and Al just threw me a lollipop. But I'm just gonna shake my head, Al, and I'm going to let you have this one here in New Hampshire.
I want to thank you for allowing me to at least fly up in your helicopter. We were down in Sarver, Pennsylvania. Now we're up here in New Hampshire. Made it here just in the nick of time. Hopefully we'll stop for some lobster after.
Well, you can stop for that. I'll be headed back home to Pennsylvania. The good old boys dirt track racing going to open up here this week. Al, I am pumped up and exciting. Unfortunately, I can't go to the track, but I can watch it.
Hey, it's all right. Better than nothing. These guys here that are racing are representing their home tracks, or Claremont and those tracks up there in the Northeast. They're hoping to get back racing. I know the guys were talking at the drivers' meeting around maybe a June 1st tentative start date, so it'll be good to see some actual racing. I know the virtual racing is filled the void here, and we hope you're enjoying it on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But I'm excited to get back to the races, to smell the exhaust. I know I don't have too many brain cells left as it is, but there's just something about the smell of race cars running on that racing fuel.
Well, you just threw me 2 lollipops, Alan. I'll continue to let them fall here next to me, but you are absolutely right. Let's pop the timing and scoring, though, up for your race fans here at New Hampshire as the caution flag is still out. It looks like the iRacing pace car light's officially going to go out this time, so we're lining back up for a green-white checker. Extend this heat race number 2 just a little bit so we can bring you all the action here. But Al, you were talking about all the tracks that were involved, and all those tracks here in New Hampshire, Lee, Hudson, Claremont, and Mondact right there, also part of the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association. And those guys, I know you talked about these guys out there, they're all part of that little bit of a group. Whether they work for a team, they race the car. Al, I think you're going to field the car possibly next year. This year was a little bit too late of a start to get that super late model going. But I really can't wait for you to put that together so I can go out there and at least destroy it once or twice.
Probably just once. My pockets aren't that deep.
Well, maybe we'll have to dig into some of the spare parts that a bunch of these guys got, because right now the iRacing pace car is down and away. Green flag is back waving here at New Hampshire for the Northeast Racers in heat race number 2. Look at these bad boys. Row gears down the front straightaway here as Kenny Thompson going to go to the bottom here, and he is going to take the lead from Gravel. Gravel now going to have to see if he can hang on for a second spot as he has a little bit of a connection issue that time out of 2.
A little bit of side-by-side contact with Joel Hodgson and Bill Rand behind them as they're side-by-side 3 rows deep. For your race win, off the corner, Jeffrey the flagman is going to throw the white flag, the final trip around the speedway. Gravel to the inside, Thompson to the outside, side-by-side at the line.
Side by side back there, but it is all Thompson now this time as we got the white flag last time by, presented by the LFOD Motorsports Group. Out of turn number 2, it is Kenny Thompson leading the way, Marcel Gravel. Then it's showing that it's the 36 of Joel Hodgson. He is back there right now with his 36 VT Checkered Road Auto Machine. Here comes Durand down to the inside. The transfer spot is under battle 2. It's going to be Buck. Oh, Durand's going to get spun. Who's going to lock themselves in? Waiting on the timing and scoring. Joel Hodgson going to get 3rd. Buck 4th. And Gallup going to get 5th. Milton Durand going to go from in the show to watching.
Unfortunate situation there off the corner. Looked like Durand may have tagged the outside wall there, but another 5 drivers locked in, and another 5 trying to lock themselves in heat race number 2. 9 cars starting to roll out onto the starting grid.
9 cars scheduled to take to the grid here, and this is how your grid looks for heat race number 3 here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway for your LFOD Motorsports starting lineup. This is how it is. It's Justin Benkowski in the 91. Right alongside him, it'll be the driver out of Vermont. It'll be the 20 of David Greenslit in that Vermont cabinetry entry. There's a bow tie on the front of that car, Al. That's why it's going to start in the front row here. Row 2, though, it'll be the 55 of Kyle Willis and the terminal trucking number 3 of Matt Swanson. Row number 3, it'll be the driver of the 22. It's going to be none other than the man of Drew Davis in his Oakley machine. Then it's Danny Ware in the Tony Quadros entry 29. And then in the 66 of Mike Young. Randy Cole Jr. slotted to start there in the 8th position in his 41 machine. And rolling off, shotgun to the field here the second week in a row for the driver of the number 2 of Christopher Bavoon. Al, that is your 9-car lineup here for your final heat race of the evening.
Guys to keep an eye on is the 28 of Danny Ware, or as they call him, Weir, up in his note of the books. But we'll stick with Ware as they come off at the corner. He is in your championship hunt. Jonathan LeMay's already in the show, and Ware, starting 6th, has to pass 1 car to make it into the show. As the green flag drops, it'll be Greenslit and Bankowski. A little bit of wheel spin for Willis and that number 55.
Willis gets the wheel spin as the terminal trucking number 3. Look at that big check up to the outside lane there. David Greenslit, though, going to go side by side with Bankowski. Can he get that Vermont cabinetry momentum going on the outside? Row your boat. Here comes David Greenslit down the back straightaway, but he will not be able to go in side by side with Benkowski in his 91 entry. So Benkowski going to hold it, but here comes Green Slit. Green Slit with a possible crossover move out of turn number 4. Not going to have it. It's going to be the 91 of Justin Benkowski leading lap number 1 here tonight.
Side-by-side battle back there for your 5th spot. Now Green with the 55 of Willis, Danny Ware on the outside, and that Tony Quadro sponsored number 28. They'll work off the corner, still side-by-side. One car before and a little bit loose. They're 3 wide, fanned out down the backstretch. They'll tuck it in line down in the turn numbers 3 and 4. Danny Ware will take the 4th spot now, trying to get by the terminal trucking number 3 of Swanson as they work off a turn number 4. And it'll be 4 laps to go in the heat race. Number 3, our 3rd and final heat race of the evening as they get ready to go into turn number 1 and 2. It'll be Benkowski showing the way Green Slit with his number 20 in your number 2 spot. Benkowski loose. That's going to allow Green Slit to get right back to the back bumper.
Yeah, a little bit of a moment for the driver of the 91 there, but he hangs on to it. Green Slit not able to really close the gap on him. Right there is Swanson. Right there is Ware. Willis is also right there. They have about a half-second gap, almost actually now a second gap over the Drew Davis machine. Randy Cole's back there. Mike Young and Christopher in his number 2 white and green machine still back here out there on the racetrack, but I'm still trying. I was just looking for it. I thought Danny Ware was going to go to the inside here on Swanson. That's why I kind of paused to see what he was going to do in the corner. He checked up. He fell back into line. He now runs back into that 4th spot. He is in a transfer spot now to get himself into the big show in just a little bit.
He may be in a transfer spot, but he also knows that every car he passes on the racetrack is 1 spot closer to the front, and going to be 1 car further away from Jonathan LeMay. So at the green flag drop of the night, as he works to the inside of Swanson off of turn number 2, he'll be there side by side. He's going to know that he's going to start that many points in front of LeMay. LeMay's going to have to put the whip to the old girl as he works underneath the 3 of Swanson. That is Ware. Willis right there ready to capitalize if one of those make a mistake. Jeffrey will throw the white flag as the 1 lap to go for Benkowski.
Wow, just like that, 1 lap to go here in heat race number 3, and it's been all Justin Benkowski tonight. A little bit of an electrical issue, as you would say, out on that Swanson machine, and that's going to allow Danny Ware sideways out of turn number 2. He was giddying up and trying to gallop out of turn 2 as fast as he could. That's going to put him side by side down into 3 for the final time here tonight. Can he get Swanson, who is sitting there in that 3rd spot? Swanson going to slide up the track a little bit. Will he be able to carry the momentum? But it will be Benkowski. Green Slit, timing and scoring is going to say by a splitter. It's going to be Swanson. Then Ware, then Willis will all transfer in to the main event a little bit later on.
5 cars. We got now 15 out of the time or heat races locked in, plus the 2, so 17 cars locked in to tonight's main event. The LFOD Motorsports last chance qualifier, the final last chance qualifier of the season. Get ready to go out onto the racetrack, and we're going to be taking 8 cars from this one. So we're going to be sending 3 cars home, and this is how the starting lineup will look. Starting on the inside of row number 1 will be the 31 of Lucas Hinckley. To his outside, the 08 of Ryan Carmen. Starting on the inside of row number 2 will be the 22 of Drew Davis. To his outside, the 02 of Cody LeBlanc. Milton Duran in car number 35 will start 5th. To his outside, the 41 of Randy Cole Jr. Starting 7th will be the 30 of Kevin Pittsinger. The number 60 of Sean Baudreau will start 8th. 9th will be the 66 of Mike Young. And 10th, Brian Hort. And rounding up the field, as I got lost, was Christopher Buffon. It looks like Kevin Pittsinger not making the grid right now. So it looks like 10 drivers for 8 slots.
Well, it's the last chance qualifier, Al. I hope you got your boots strapped up, because these bad boys are going to do some running here at New Hampshire. It's the final chance to make the show, and the last race of the season, you always want to find yourself in, not out, because who knows when the next time you're going to be able to race here with the Northeast Racers.
Just hearing race control talking to the drivers as the pace car is coming off, it sounds like everybody's going to transfer into the main events, Roger. So this is mainly just for your starting position. As the green flag drops, we're underway with the LFOD Motorsports Last Chance Showdown.
Well, they are racing down into turn 1. It's going to be Hinckley passing over the 08 O'Brien Carmen, but Carmen's going to throw the crossover with his Kit Kat Monster Hellcat. They go side by side. Will they be able to? No, it looks like that outside lane just carried the momentum, so the first side-by-side battle is going to be to Andrew Davis. As, contact there, I believe. It's going to send Carmen up the track, and they are almost 3 wide out of 4.
Side by side, Davis on the inside now. That allows the number 02 LeBlanc to the outside of that Oakley-sponsored number 22. As that's the battle for your third spot. Milton Duran will run 5th as they come out the corner. We've got them 2 and 3 wide. We're back here with, it looks like it's straightened out. The 2 of Buffon was involved with that battle as well. There's a battle for your race lead starting to shape up as Carmen all over the backside of Hinckley.
Yeah, but right now it's still that LeBlanc machine and the 22 of Andrew Davis that are trying to do the battle for that third position. Somebody has turned around back here. It's going to be the 2 of Chris Buffoon and the 37 of Brian Hoare, the 66 of Mike Young. All the drivers at the tail right there getting together on the straightaway at the start-finish line. That's going to bring us under caution flag for the first time here in our B main event tonight at New Hampshire. Second caution flag total of the night waving. We will have to see what the trailer is going to provide us with here. Let's throw it back on the Turn 3 Racing replay. You already see, actually, it has already started to happen there. It looks like Hoare was up the track into the 2 of Buffoon. We'll watch it back. You're watching the 2. Oh, the 2 got into the 37 off the corner. And then it looks like the 37 and the 2 just come together mid-straightaway. And Mike Young, with absolutely nowhere to go, he gets kind of just caught up. He is the man who was just in the wrong place at the wrong time as we ride on board with Mike Young down the front straightaway. You see it all happen. He lifts. He goes to the inside and just nowhere for him to run away and hide from things here as he comes to a rest with his snap-on 66 against that inside wall. All drivers are able to carry on, but I believe a couple of them will have to go to what they call as the old backup car.
Yeah, definitely going to have a backup car, or at least a new front clip on those 3 cars. Those were some heavy contacts. As you're carrying a lot of speed here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway as they all come down pit road, at least Brian Hoare and Mike Young making it their way down pit road. With his RPM racing engine number 37, the snap-on tool 66 of Mike Young. Up front, though, starting to heat up there. Hinckley was starting to feel the pressure from that old Monster Energy Kit Kat machine of Carmen. And LeBlanc now up to your number 3 spot in that number 02.
Yeah, but how about the mover so far here of Andrew Davis? He's been shaking hands, kissing babies, wearing his Oakleys, looking good coming through the field. Right now he runs in 4th. Milton Duran also up a handful of positions. He is running in the 6th spot. Randy Cole is sitting there in 6th. Sean Boudreau is sitting there in the 7th position. Christopher Buffoon then is right now scheduled currently in the 8th position, but actually they're going to flip-flop on the timing and scoring. Going to be Brian Hoare to the 8th position. Then it'll be Mike Young, and then Buffoon will tag the rear of the field for bringing out that caution flag here tonight. And I don't believe that the 2 actually came down pit road to service his car to get his quick repair out. A brand new draft package with these super late models. Will that play a factor into this one at the end?
It's definitely going to play a little bit of a factor. We have seen that the leader has not been able to really shake. He'll pull out a little bit within the field, able to reel him back in. We're seeing a lot more side-by-side action with the super late models here that iRacing has just updated just quite a little bit, or not quite a little bit, just a little bit, I should say. But we definitely do thank them, and the short track community loves their super late model racing, as we do here on every Sunday night. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with myself here the next couple Sundays when this is all over.
I know what you can do, Al. I got a great idea. If you type in youtube.com, hit the enter button, go over there, type in the Turn 3 Racing Network, hit enter. It's going to bring you right here. You're going to be able to watch all the replays from Sunday night every Sunday for the rest of your life, Al. It will be there. You can watch these guys and relive the moments like you're about to see here when the iRacing pace car dives down.
It'll dive down out of the way. Hinckley in control of the field. Green flag is out. Jeffrey throwing the green flag. We're back underway. And Hinckley going to jump out in front of Carmen, Drew Davis, and LeBlanc. LeBlanc going to get a little bit of a slow start. He'll lose that 3rd position to that 22 of Davis, but now they're equal back up, side by side. Hinckley with the momentum off the corner. Carmen a little bit free. They're going to be 3 wide down the backstretch.
Yeah, 3 wide down the backstretch, but Carmen's going to go from second all the way to just about the tail of the field. That's going to put Andrew Davis now in the Oakley 22 machine running there in second. Here comes Milton Duran. LeBlanc, remember, somebody down there, that's Boudreaux. He's going to go way down to the bottom, and he saves that 60 car. It could have been a whole new car needed for the driver of the 60 there if he would have hit that inside wall and spun her around.
He'll run side by side back there with Hoare off of turn number 2 to 37 as your race leader got a little bit loose off of turn number 2. That'll fan him out. Side by side battle for your number 2 spot. Duran will dive it down low underneath the 22 of Davis.
Brian Hoare trying to save the 37. He's going to spin it around. He got a little help there. We'll see as it's a single car spin down there in 3 and 4. We stay green flag for the moment. It's Lucas Hinckley, Milton Duran, Andrew Davis, your top 3. Then it's Ryan Carmen, Jean Boudreaux. Right now, your top 5 drivers. Everybody, there is a caution flag now. As Brian Hoare wasn't able to get that car refired. Now it refires, but the caution flag going to wave again here for a single car spin down there in turn 3 and 4. You saw he actually got a little help there from Randy Cole, but one car going around.
So Hoare going through the spin cycle, not by his own doing, with his Goss number 37. So he'll get it pointed and got it fired back up. He'll catch to the back of the field, but how about this now? Hinckley leading the race. It'll be the 35 of Duran in second. Davis rounding out your top 3. So that restart really shook up how the top 3, the top 4, even the top 5 looks now as Sean Boudreaux has made his way into the top 5. LeBlanc, I thought, Roger, that you were talking about contact with the O2 of LeBlanc because LeBlanc went way up the racetrack and got into the outside Armco barrier. Has a little bit of right front damage on that 0-2, but not enough to warrant coming down pit road.
No, but right now, while we sit here under this caution flag here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, let's see if we can take a quick moment here as these guys go around and see if we can talk to one of our drivers that have already locked themselves into the big show here tonight. Let's see if we can get a word in with the driver of the number 12 of Tony Quadros. Tony, you got a copy? It's Muth and Smith up here in the booth.
I do. How you gentlemen doing?
Tony, we are doing fabulous here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Tell us about that blistering qualifying lap that you and that crew were able to lay down.
You know, it was a good lap, but I had absolutely nothing for LeMay. He ran almost 0.2 quicker, but it was good. I ran the bottom for the lap. I don't think you can do that during the feature, but it was a good lap.
Well, not only is it a good lap, it gets you a good starting spot here for the final race of the Northeast Racers. How do you feel about that? It's the final race in general right now.
It's good to make it through a season, be top 3 in points, have an outside shot at winning it. It's been a really good season. We're really looking forward already to the next season, getting more sponsors, higher sponsorship payouts for the winners. This league could become the premier iRacing league for short tracks in New England, hopefully next year. So, no, it's good stuff.
Well, it's been good stuff so far here. The last 4 weeks, I guess we'll really call it. We couldn't bring you the first one, but we're bringing you the last one. But, Tony, tell us as we get the one-to-go marker here about the sponsorship going out at the end of this race.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do and what we wanted to do here was really look to benefit the short track racer. So basically what's happening is top 3 and points at the end of this race for the season are going to win LFOD Motorsports sponsorships for their real race cars. And it's going to be $250 for first, $100 for second, and $50 for third. So it's all about benefiting and supporting the short track drivers out there.
Well, Tony, thanks for everything you do behind the scenes here with the Northeast Racers. Thanks for the sponsorship with the LFOD Motorsports Group. Good luck out there tonight.
Thank you.
Well, there you heard it, Al. Some money going out at the end of this one.
Yeah, it's going to be a welcome sign for your racers. And it's a cool thing that this series is doing, and hopefully they can make it bigger and better. As the green flag is dropped, it'll be the 31 of Hinckley jumping out to your race lead. The 35 of Duran going to slam the door shut on the Kit Kats. They're side by side, almost 3 wide back here for your 4th and 5th spot. LeBlanc working the outside of Boudreaux as they work off the corner number 2 as they get up the speed and down the backstretch. And they'll single file out here as they work down to the turn number 3.
Yeah, it looks like the O2 New Hampshire machine tonight, the RPR entry of LeBlanc, has a little bit of that right front damage still on that machine. As, oh, look at Drew Davis. He's going to try and gather it up. The popsicle sticks were in the air here at New Hampshire. Just 2 more times around this 1 mile track. Al, how many laps, or how many miles is that?
Well, that would be 2 miles here. We got a side-by-side battle for your race lead. Duran taken to the inside. Hinckley going to give him the race lead. They got loose off of turn number 2. Duran going to take it down to turn number 3. This time off of turn number 4 is now Ryan Carmen working underneath the number 31 of Hinckley as well. Side-by-side battle. The white silk will fly. Jeffrey says just 1 more mile to go.
1 more mile of racing here in your B main, your last chance qualifier, really. This is for all the marbles, as it's going to be Duran, but there's the battle for the second spot. Here comes Ryan Carmen down to the inside in the Kit Kat Hellcat machine. He is not going to be able to make the pass on Lucas Hinckley, so he'll just kind of fall back into line as they go down into turn 3 for the final time. It's the last shot for any of these drivers to really try and make their way through the field. It's not going to be enough, though, because out of turn 4, here comes Milton Duran and the Duran Ford Fusion entry. He will win. Then it will be Lucas Hinckley, Ryan Carmen, Drew Davis, Shaw Boudreaux, Brian Hoare, Cody LeBlanc, Randy Cole Jr. rounding out that field there, as now we work into a little bit of a warm-up before we head to the main event here in New Hampshire tonight. But before we play the national anthem, we got to thank the New Hampshire Short Track Association for everything they do for these drivers during the spring, summer, and fall months up there in New Hampshire. You know, right now we're a little delayed on the start of the New Hampshire racing season, but these guys have taken to the iRacing platform right here on your Turn 3 Racing Network. We're going to step away for just a moment. We'll be back here from New Hampshire for your season finale for the Northeast Racers.
So proudly wailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming
most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the Northeast Racers, presented by the LFOD Motorsports. Warm-ups just about done here tonight before we get into our season finale. Al, it's been a good stretch of racing, and it comes down to 2 drivers, and both drivers are going to make the big dance here tonight.
Yeah, we got one of the drivers, Danny Ware, in that 28 Quadro sponsored number 28. He's going to be rolling off 14th on the grid, and right now he's 11th quick. Well, how about his championship battle contestant? It's in the blue corner, the 4 of Jonathan LeMay, and he was put in the 4th quickest time here in our happy hour session as the field takes to the grid as we get ready to go with tonight's 75-lap main event.
So the drivers are taking to the grid for the final time this season. And how will they line up, you ask? Well, this is how they will line up. Starting on your LFOD front row, which will be reshuffled. It's supposed to be Jonathan LeMay, but last week's winner is LeMay, and he will tag the rear of the field. So that'll move Tony Quadros onto the pole position here tonight. Second row, though, will be Alan Young in the 24. Fast Kenny Thompson in the 39 machine, scheduled to roll off there in the 4th spot. 5th, going to be the 91 of Justin Benkowski and the 42 of Tegan Daigneault. Starting in row number 4 is going to be Marcel Gravel and David Greenslit. Row 5 here tonight, Jeffrey Battle and Joel Hodgson.
Can I go now?
Yes, you can go now, Al.
All right. How about that
Terminal Trucking?
The Terminal Trucking Company, number 3 of Matt Swanson, will start on the inside of row number 6 to his outside, the 25 of Matthew Kimball. Kyle Buck in that V-Tune, number 05, will start 13th on the inside of row number 7. His outside, the championship hopeful, the 28 of Danny Ware in car number 28, starting 14th. Kyle Bingham will start in the 15th spot on the inside of row number 8 to his outside, the 44 of Jeff Gallup. Kyle Willis and Milton Duran will make up row number 9 in the 55 and 35, and rounding out your your 10th row will be the 31 of Lucas Hinckley and the 08 of Ryan Carmen.
Row number 11 here tonight. It's the Oakley sponsor, number 22 of Drew Davis and the number 60 of Sean Boudreau. Row 12, it'll be the 37 of Brian Hoare and Cody LeBlanc in the 02. Row 13, it'll be Randy Cole, Mike Young. And I believe that's actually the only drivers, because Christopher Buffoon and Kevin Pitzinger don't look like they have taken to the grid here as we are about to go racing for the final time this season. Al Jeffrey's about to wave that green flag.
Jeffrey's got the right green flag hand in there, and he has thrown the flag down. We're underway for the final time this season. It'll be Young down in the turn number 1. Quadros working the outside. We've got him 3 wide for your race lead. Benkowski showed very good speed in heat race number 1. He's quickly moving up inside to your number 2. He'll challenge Quadros down in the turn number 3.
Down into turn number 3 we come here for the first time, and it is all Alan Young. Then it's Tony Quadros and Benkowski side by side, stacked up the rest of the field. They are 2 by 2 for as far as you can see. Lap number 1, though, gonna go to Alan Young here tonight. So he leads lap 1, but everybody else is still side by side storming through the corners here. Benkowski just cannot clear the number 12 of Quadros. This time out of turn 2, it looked like he had a run, but the car got sideways on Benkowski. Here comes Tony Quadros once again.
They're running that inside of the speedway. Very tough to do. The momentum will get built up on the outside. Quadros now back to the right rear quarter panel, but Benkowski will clear him. So the side-by-side battle back there for your 4th spot. Marcel Gravel in it. Vermont karting number 86. He'll run side-by-side with Thompson. That's the battle for 4th, and behind him is Daigneault. Daigneault trying to find a way to go. as they got them side by side, jammed up and jelly tight off turn number 2.
Little sideways slipping and sliding there for Gravel as he made his way around Thompson. Now here comes Daniel down to the inside in the 23 Jordan entry. A little contact there by him to Kenny Thompson. It's going to shove Thompson up the track a little bit. They were able to keep it clean and green here to complete lap number 3. Lap number 4 going to start as they battle once again side by side just a little bit further back. There's another battle. That's between, I believe, is that the green slip machine. He's going to go to the outside. The Matt Swanson entry, the terminal trucking number 3, is going in the wrong direction here.
He's stuck in the slow lane with that number 3 car down in the turn number 3. They'll be side by side. The contact with championship hopeful Danny Ware. They're able to keep it going in the right direction. That'll shuffle Ware back in to your number 4, 11th spot. So he's up 3 spots since the drop of the green flag. Danny Ware. And where is LeMay? He's up to 21st after starting 26. They'll work off the corner to the top 10 cars, starting to get single file battle now, working underneath Daniel as I say that. And that allows Greenslip to pull in on that battle.
Greenslip looking to work his way through the field here. He's had a tough couple weeks on Sunday nights, but he is trying to rally back through with the Vermont Cabinetry entry tonight. Runs now in that 8th spot, just nowhere to go in front of him. It is a log jam down into turn number 1. It is still Daniel and the 14 of Battle that are side by side doing the battle. Now it looks like Battle in the 14 got a contact actually as he tried to clear himself down the back straightaway. Little right rear contact there between him and the 23 of Daniel, but they were able to hold on to the machines. Look at Danny Ware trying to muscle his way through the inside here on Joel Hodgson in that 36 VT machine. They will work side by side. That is your farthest running group that are side by side here tonight.
6 laps are in the books, working lap number 7 as they work off of turn number 2. Now they'll be single file. Side by side battle back there is the 05 of Buck. That's for your 18th position. He battles with the 37 of Horde. They'll be side by side down in the turn number 3. Danny Ware still working underneath the green slip now off of turn number 2 as they work off the corner. I am pretty impressed with Ware as he's able to run the bottom and get that drive up off the corner. Greenslip up the racetrack, and he'll kiss the Armco barrier as he'll slide right back in front of Bingham. Now he'll go right back and attack the 3 of Swanson off turn number 2.
Will he be able to do anything, though, with those machines? How much damage was done to that machine? Now it's Swanson as contact between Hodgson in the 36 VT and that Vermont Cabinetry number 20. They trade paint. Greenslick going to go around the outside here. He will take back over that 10th position as now Duran is a little bit, contact between Duran and Kimball. It's going to send Kimball up the track in his 25 entry tonight. Brand new paint on the side of the 25 of Kimball, and he now is going to lose a position as Duran is actually bobbing and weaving that time out of turn 2. Maybe a little bump draft help there by Kimball.
One driver on the move right now is that HS&G Erosion car number 4. That is Jonathan LeMay. He'll work underneath the 60 of Bodro. He's up to the 18th spot. He's picked up 8 spots since the green flag has dropped. His championship battle is Danny Ware. He runs 8th. So right now 10 positions between those two as we work lap number 10. As LeMay now cracking the whip as he'll work underneath the number 55 of Willis off of turn number 2. Yeah,
Alan, if I do the math real quick, it looks like Danny Ware, if they were to finish the race right here on lap number 10, it would be Danny Ware picking up the prize package at the ticket window here tonight. But we are a long way from over here tonight at the New Hampshire Speedway.
We definitely are. They're starting to settle themselves in. Buck now working to the backside of Kimball in that number 44 car. Off a turn of the corner. Joel Hodgson gets a little bit loose with Bingham right behind him. They both did the slide for life off of turn number 2. They'll keep it pointed in the right direction, and Jeffrey will put that yellow flag back away as we'll stay green off of turn corner. Daniel trying to work underneath the 14 of the battle. We've got side-by-side battles, 3 and 4 wide through the corners. I don't know how they're able to do this, but they are. This is entertaining.
Yeah, and the 28 of Danny Ware is going to lose a position to the 3 of Swanson. He was sideways, all sorts of out of shape out of turn number 4 as they now go single file for it looks like about your top 12, because sitting in 12th is actually Duran and Bingham, and they're going to try and see if they can. Oh, contact down into 3 there from Duran to Bingham. It's going to put Bubbles up the track just a little bit. He's going to lose the position to Duran. No, he's going to slam the wall. Now contact with the 25. They are sliding down the front straightaway. A couple other of them going to pile in here.
And Jeffrey will throw the yellow flag for the first time here tonight at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Big trouble for multiple drivers here on the front stretch. And our first yellow will come out on lap number 12. Now, they do have a set of tires in the pits that they can use here tonight, but they're not allowed to pit for tires until after lap 35. The first flag after lap 35 is when officials will give the tires out to everybody, those iRacing Hoosier slicks that they're all on here tonight. But let's see if the truck has got the replay keyed up here.
Well, let's see. As they tell me they have it, this is going to go back a little bit farther than what you're expecting, but we throw it back. You're watching the 77 of Bingham there to the outside, the 35 of Duran down on the bottom. You saw the contact. Let's zoom it out. There you go. Duran has the spot. Up goes Bingham into the outside wall. He's going to collect the 25 of Kimball, and then back across the track, Bubbles comes, and unfortunately, Hodgson is there, and I don't know. I believe that was the 44, a Gallop also. Getting into that caution flag, a little bit of a mess here. Is a big trek here at New Hampshire, but when the front straightaway kind of gets wadded up, just nowhere for a lot of these guys to go.
Yeah, and they are going to come down pit road. Race officials have given them 2 backup cars each for tonight's 75-lap main event, as we are under caution number 1 here tonight. So far, Roger, I am very impressed with the guys coming from the back of the field. How about our championship hopeful, Jonathan LeMay? He's now up to 12th after missing. He just threaded the needle to get by the 77 of Bingham, so he was able to get on by. So he'll find himself 12th, and that is only 3 spots behind the 28 of Danny Ware. We've seen how wild these restarts can get. They're going to spread them out 2 and 3 wide here on this restart.
Yeah, we'll have to see once your good friend Jeffrey puts away the yellow cloth here tonight, but it's Alan Young, Justin Minkowski, Tony Quadros, Marcel Gravel, and Kenny Thompson right now running inside your top 5. Then it is Jeffrey Battle. Dagan Daño running there in the 7th position with his number 3. Then it's Swanson. And Al, the Swanson entry here tonight, having some electrical issue. Right now, he is good and up to song and dance, but we're keep an eye on that. It's Danny Ware in 9th, and then it's going to be the 20 of Greenslit rounding out the top 10.
Yeah, 1 car out of the top 10 will be the 35 of Milton Duran. Jonathan LeMay will start 4th. Joel Hodgson didn't elect to come down pit road, so maybe not as much damage as we think on that 36 entry in Vermont. Then it is the Goss entry, the 37 of Brian Hoare. He's found himself 14th. Remember, he came from the last chance qualifier. Sean Boudreau, Kyle Willis, Randy Cole Jr., Mike Young, Drew Davis, and Matthew Kimball in that car number 25. Our first drivers in their backup cars are from Kimball on back, so we'll have to see how they do as the field doubles up. Lights are out on the pace car. We're ready to go back green flag racing.
16 laps about to be in the book when we hit the throttle here when Jeffrey waves that green flag here tonight. Let's see who is going to be able to get down into turn number 1 as the green flag is waving. Here we go, everybody up through the old clunky 4-speed gearboxes in these super late models. Jeffrey is waving the heck out of that, and we're already off into turn number 1.
We got 1 car way up the racetrack. That will be the cabin trees of Vermont, number 20 of Greenslet. He's going to lose multiple positions as they come off the corner. He got shoved up the racetrack, caught in the Armco barrier, and it'll be single file up here at the front, side-by-side battle for your number 2 spot. Quadros taking a look underneath the 24 of Young. Young losing the race lead. Binkowski is your new race leader. As they work off the corner, Tony Thompson trying to stay off the rear bumper of Marcel Gravel. Will be 3 wide at the line.
Yeah, it looked like that 39 of Thompson was sideways a little bit also, but how about Binkowski, the driver of the 91, won his heat race here tonight as, contact Tony Quadros. Going to get into the Marcel Gravel. Gravel's going to go around here, and that's going to bring out the caution flag. Gravel spinning, and everybody else trying to take evasive actions to get around the 86. It looks like Daño also going to get involved in that in the Jordan 23 entry. So not good for a couple of the drivers inside the top 5. Let's throw her back here and take a quick look at it from over top here You watch the Tony Quadros car. It looks like he gets back to the throttle before the 86 of gravel was ready. And then Thompson's going to turn around the 23. And everybody else actually going to be able to skedaddle on around there and not get involved.
Almost.
So call it a 4-car incident.
Yeah, it looks like the 66 of Mike Young made a little bit of contact to the right front of that number 86 car of Marcel Gravel. So a little bit of right front damage, but like we said, they do have 2 backup cars if they elect to go to it. And they'll come around the speedway, but that was an impressive restart. It looked like the 12 of Quadros just might have slid up just a little bit and barely breathed on that left rear of Marcel Gravel.
Yeah, and it looks like the 12 of Quadros are going to get assessed a penalty here for bringing out the caution while he spun around the Marcel Gravel entry here tonight. So Quadros will go to the tail end of the longest line here as you see him waiting for all his other competitors to come on by. They will come by, and now he will actually come down pit road. Can't put tires on their cars, remember, race fans, until lap 35 or later. Whenever that caution flag comes, whether it's on 35 or even if it's on 70, those will be the only times they will be able to put any sorts of tires on. As you see those guys all coming down pit road. There you see the Daño machine. He comes down. There's Tony Quadros. He's going to hit his pit box too. So just a fuel stop here for a couple of these drivers, and then they will get back out there on the racetrack. Right now it is Justin Benkowski, Alan Young, Jeffrey Battle, Matt Swanson now is in 3rd, and Kenny Thompson is into that 5th position.
Yeah, unfortunately, we have 2 retirees early on in this race. It looks like the 02 of Cody LeBlanc has brought that automobile back behind pit wall and has retired from the race, along with the 31 of Lucas Hinckley. Both are sitting in the garage right now on the jack stands trying to get their cars repaired, but it does not look good for those 2 drivers. So 24 cars remain out onto the raceway right now as the field still paces around that Ford Mustang pace car, as I believe we're going to get back racing here fairly shortly.
Well, almost a quarter of the way into the race, Al. A caution flag out here. But you know what we got to do? We got to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network, watching the Northeast Racers presented by the LFOD Motorsports. It is the final race of the 6-race season here, hoping that we can go back to racing in real life. But for right now, the Northeast Racers here out of the New Hampshire, a lot of them out of New Hampshire, Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Massachusetts, New York drivers all looking forward to getting back into their cars in just a couple of weeks. Al, you said it earlier, possible a June 1st start for a lot of these guys, but right now the start is going to be on Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey's got that great hand on the green flag. He'll wave it. We're back underway. Benkowski spins the tires a little bit on the inside, but he'll pull even with Young down in the turn. Number 1, Swanson all over the back bumper. That Young Guns creation, number 24 of Alan Young. Now he'll work to the outside. Benkowski not able to clear him just yet. He'll get loose off the corner. Here comes Young Double side by side down the backstretch.
Side by side for the lead. Someone having a little bit of an issue towards the back of the field. I believe that was the 55 of Kyle Willis, as they were like 4 or 5 wide back there for a moment as Willis was into the outside wall. But here comes Benkowski out of 4. Will he be able to drag race back to the start finish line? It looks like it's going to be Alan Young going back to the lead. He'll lead his 17th lap here of the night at the New Hampshire Speedway, as they are still side by side. Somebody going around. It's going to be the 08 Kit Kat machine of Ryan Carmen. He tried to take a break with his Kit Kat. Unfortunately, it is going to dog walk away. Jeff Gallup involved in this one. So another caution flag here coming back out as a couple wounded cars go ahead and drive away from this one. We will have to see back on the truck. What does the truck say? This is going to be the overhead shot. This is what you're looking at. You're looking at the 44, the bright yellow Fury 44 entry. You see the wiggle out of turn 4. They try to make him go 3 wide here. Oh, it looks like the 05 gets into him. And then the Kit Kat machine there of Carmen, nowhere to go. He gets involved and spun hard into the outside wall. We do have an onboard camera, I believe, with the driver of the 08. You're riding from the passenger side of Ryan Carmen's. There was nowhere that Ryan Carmen was going to go. He didn't even know that he was about to get turned going into turn number 1. He was down there on the bottom, and when that 05 there of Buck just kind of made that right-hand turn after trying to get off the 44, things happen quick, Al, at these speeds tonight.
They definitely do, and a tough break for that 08 Cat Monster Energy entry. Hellcat, as he'll pull that car down pit road. He's already used one of his backup cars, so unfortunately, he's going to be out of backup cars as we are 1/3 of the way through lap 25 going up onto the book. 50 laps to go here tonight from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, the Magic Mile. So, not the race start that the 08 Carmen was looking to have, as he's already in and out of the garage with his backup car, so he'll stay on the lead lap as he'll pull off of pit road. So here we go. We're going to get them all lined back up, stacked up, and we're going to go back racing here for the third time.
Yeah, well, while we're under caution now, why don't we talk to the driver of that Hellcat Kit Kat monster machine? Carmen, you got a copy of Smuth and Smith up here in the booth.
Yeah, I hear you.
Well, tell us what happened going down into turn 1 from your point of view from driving that 08 machine.
Honestly, not even sure. It caught me off guard. I thought I was clear, and looks like I just got clipped in the back, so, it happens. It's racing.
So now you come down pit road after crab walking that Hellcat back to pit road, which is, by the way, absolute beautiful car to start with. But are you officially out of backup cars? From our count, I believe you are.
No, so I got fuel first pit stop. I do have one fast remaining.
Well, that's good news to hear. What's going to be the plan going forward, though? You're going to restart back here right around the 23rd position. You going to be able to storm back up through the field?
No, we're going to give it our best shot. Hopefully just got to avoid everything, drive smart, still a long ways to go.
Well, there you heard it out. Long way to go for the driver of the 08 Hellcat machine. He'll restart tail of the field.
He's got one ace left up his sleeve of the backup cars. The field doubles up. Justin Benkowski going to take the outside on this restart. 24 of Ellen Young to the inside. Swanson and Battle, your top 4. Then it is the 28 of Winners. The green flag drops, and a much better start side by side down to turn number 1. Benkowski will work the outside. Swanson all over the back bumper of Young, as they'll be side by side. Young going to try to slide up in front of that 14 of Battle. Nothing there doing. They'll be side by side, almost 3 wide off of turn numbers 2, is the 4 of LeMay. He's working underneath the ran, and we are right there in front of him.
Well, look at the guy in the 4. He has moved up from tail of the field, already inside the top 10, and he is looking for more as there are 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. It's Jonathan LeMay to the inside. It was one of them up into the outside wall there. Bubbles going to go around to the 77. Caution flag is going to fly again here tonight as Bingham bringing out the second yellow for himself. I believe Bubbles having a little bit of handling issues on that Northeast 77.
Yeah, and just kissed the right front up against the Armco barrier here on the front stretch. So Bingham's going to have a little bit of damage right now. If you're inside driver of that 77, do you come down pit road and use that backup car, or do you come down and try to repair it and save that car in case you get into a much bigger wreck later on in the event, if there is one?
I think you're going to have to save that backup car just for the time being, but let's throw it back here. The trailer says they have it queued. As there you see the 77 into the outside wall, and he's just going to slide her around. Look at Tony's going to barely miss that spinning 77. Maybe I believe we have the LFOD onboard camera with the 12 riding from the nose of the 12 of Tony Quadros. There you see the 77 slide across. You see Carmen taking his Kit Kat entry there. Oh boy, was that close for a lot of those drivers towards the back of that field.
So a tough break for the 77 of Bingham. I do have to report off of pit road that Jeff Gallup has been treated and released from the infield care center, but his day is done as the 44 is loading it up in the hauler. So not the night that Jeff Gallup wanted in that Fury number 44, but the good news is he is okay and will be back to race another day. Just wasn't his night, Roger, and a tough break for that driver of that 44.
Tough break for him, but looks like the 05 B-tuned machine is down pit road with his Camaro ZL1. Kyle Buck looks like he's getting some service done. Just gas only, it seems like, for him. but it's all Justin Benkowski right now. He has found himself out front for the last 13 or 12 laps for him. This will be his 13th lap out front. Alan Young is sitting there second. Jeffrey Battle is third. Matt Swanson is fourth. Danny Ware is sitting there fifth. Kenny Thompson is the man that's kind of the lunch meat in the sandwich here as he separates Ware and LeMay. LeMay running back there in that fourth position after starting shotgun to the field, now a seventh. Then it's Milton Duran, David Greenslit, and Sean Boudreau rounding out the top 10.
Here's a question for you. Do you think Benkowski has his backup cars in his racetrailersales.com race car trailers? They sell new and used trailers, you know.
Well, I'm going to guess, and I'm going to go out on a limb here, and it's probably going to bite me, Al. Every time you set me up for a question and an answer session here, I'm going to say Benkowski didn't bring any backup cars here to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. He knew he had a fast rocket and only brought one.
All right. Well, he had to bring a nice-looking trailer from Race Trailer Sales.
Oh, he definitely has the biggest hauler out there in the parking garage.
I like the hauler. That's my favorite part of going to the races is watching the haulers come. I don't like watching them leave because that means the night's over with, and then I have to go back home and sit in my jail cell. But it's I like the trailers. It's a good part of the race. Do you know that a trailer does not win you the race though?
Well, I can definitely tell you from being from Pennsylvania. Come on, the PA Posse boys, when the World of Outlaws or the Ollie's All-Stars come into town, you sit outside the gates and you watch everybody that's coming in. You see the Casey Kane racing, the Kyle Larson racing. You see all those guys come in with their big, bad trailers. And then you see the local guy that lives 5 minutes down the road come in with an extra set of tires on his open trailer, and you go, yep, he's going to win tonight.
You never bet against the posse, though.
And that's what a lot of people go wrong. They bet against the posse. Just like tonight, betting against these guys here from the New Hampshire. I just drew the blank out.
Well, I thought I smelled the smoke burning, and I saw it coming from your ears, so I was just going to let you burn out. Now, hey, guess what? You know what else burnt out? The caution lights on the pace car as we're going back racing lap 32. Going to go up on the books is the field. We'll double them up off of turn number 3 and 4. Benkowski going to work to the outside is on this restart. As they come off of turn 4, the green flag will fly. Hopefully Jeffrey will not drop the green flag as it flies. We're back underway. Lap 32 up on the books with a nice restart by Benkowski. Here comes Swanson to the outside of Alan Young. Side-by-side battle, 3 wide, 2 turns, 1 and 2. Battle with that Ray Bestis number 14 car working to the inside with Ware and Thompson side by side. Top 2 will squirt away single file, but it's side by side, nail to nail down to the turn number 3.
Yeah, as they're trying to figure out who's going to take the third spot, is it going to be the 3 of Swanson as they work out of turn 4 for the first time back to the green flag? It's going to be Swanson taking the spot, and then it's going to be Jeffrey Battle, and then it's going to be look at this, 3 wide here, 2 of your championship contenders. Here comes Jonathan LeMay looking to the inside. He's not going to get Ware, but he's going to look to try and get Milton Duran someone into the wall. It looks like that was the 37 of Brian Hoare. He was going to smack the wall out of turn number 2. He's able to hang on to his entry here tonight. He runs back into the 11th spot.
Yeah, you got a right front damage on that 37 Goss entry Dodge as they work off the corner. Side-by-side battle, though, for LeMay with Boudreau. They're side-by-side as he'll work now to the inside of the 35 of Duran as they come off of turn number 2. LeMay has made 95% of his passes on the inside tonight, and he finds himself in the 8th position. That's up 20 positions from where he started tonight's race from as he works through turns 3 and 4. Now he'll tuck it in line behind Duran. But he knows that right now we are going to be getting closer to that halfway battle. As now he'll take a peek to the inside of Duran. We'll tuck it back in line as they head down to the turn number 1.
Yeah, not able to find his way around that Ford right now for the Duran Motorsports group. Milton going to go up the track just a little bit, but LeMay not able to really put the power down in his Chevrolet. So they go back single file. You got to go all the way back to Tony Quadros right now, who's looking to the inside here on Randy Cole. Remember, Quadros involved in one of those earlier incidents inside inside those first kind of 15 laps. As we are green right now on lap 37, we are halfway home, just about next time by.
Yeah, right now the side-by-side battle back here for your 10th spot, Marcel Gravel. We saw him get turned by the 12 of Quadros earlier on in the event. He has worked himself all the way back inside the top 10 as we got drivers all over the backstretch. There will still be side-by-side. The VermontKarting.com number 86 working to the outside. Greens that don't almost rub fenders off of turn numbers 4, but it'll be now Marcel Gravel. He'll move inside the top 10. So Marcel with a nice run is now the 4 LeMay who dives underneath the 35 of Duran.
So now Jonathan LeMay officially on the move once again as he gets around Duran. Now he can set his eyes upon fast Kenny Thompson, who runs the purple, green, and black 39 entry here tonight in the 6th spot. Now he separates the Ware entry and the LeMay spot. Back there behind, though, Jonathan LeMay. Here comes the 60 of Boudreaux. He's going to look to the inside of Milton Duran. He is not going to be able to, but you got two champions side by side. You got Brian Hoare and the number 20 of David Greenslit battling for that 11th position. Right now, you got 37 laps to go here tonight in your final showing here at New Hampshire for your Northeast Racers.
Yeah, Greenslit going to slide up the raceway, whether he wanted it or not, as Hoare will take that position as they race down the front stretch. Marcel Gravel starting to roll in on the 60 of Boudreaux as they work through here. But the battle for your race lead starting to tighten up. Alan Young in the tire tracks of the number 91 of Bankowski as they work down in the turn number 3.
Yeah, right now they are all single file, and Alan Young just trying to find a way around this 91 entry tonight as they are both a little sideways. Oh, maybe a little contact there for Justin Bankowski with the outside wall, but look a little bit farther back behind him. You see this 3-car train. It's Kenny Thompson, it's Danny Ware, and Jonathan LeMay. They are nose to tail for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. I mean, Al, what do you do right now if you're in this kind of situation? You're driving around two of the guys that are battling for the championship hunt, and you're kind of just sandwiched right in between them.
Oh, we heard when we talked to the 02 of Carmen that he came down to the pits and he got fuel on one of those cautions. So that makes me wonder if they're going to be a little bit light on fuel in this 75 lap. But right now we're clean and green as Kenny Thompson going to take a look to the inside of Ware. If he gets by them, that'll, I believe, make the points championship tied between the 28 and the 4 who run nose to tail on the outside as they battle down in the turns numbers 3 and 4. Cloud cover starting to come in. That's going to change how these cars are handling as Kenny Thompson now draws even with Ware off of turn number 4.
Yeah, Al, you talk about that championship hunt right now, and that time at the line when the timing and scoring updated, it was exactly that. It was a heads-up timing and scoring point standings right there between Danny Ware and Jonathan LeMay.
Oh, Ware's in the fence. Ware got the fence off of turn number 2. They got it straightened out, but he's going to lose that position to LeMay now as they'll battle off of turn number 4.
So now with a little bit of a wrinkled right front fender, that's going to let Jonathan LeMay scoot on by. So that'll get the points championship lead now +2 for Jonathan LeMay. So now what does Danny Ware have left in that number 28 machine? Over the halfway point, next caution flag we would have, he would be able to come down and put 4 fresh tires and get that damage, that fender cleared, or pull out the direct backup car. Right now, though, it is all the man out front, and he has Alan Young. That's Justin Bankowski leading the way here. 44 laps already in the books here out of the 75 schedule.
Yeah, next time by it'll be 30 laps to go as the battle for your 5th spot. Fast Kenny Thompson in that 39 car holding on to LeMay. Getting a nice drive up off the bottom of the racetrack. Can't do anything with him. As now Danny Ware's kind of lost touch with this group as he's got Milton Duran, that 35 car to deal with. Sun poking back through the clouds here is now LeMay going to take a peek underneath Thompson this time off of the corner. Not able to make a move with him. But up front, it is still Justin Bankowski showing the way with a good battle back here with the 41 of Randy Cole and the 36 of Joel Hodgson for your 15th position.
Yeah, right now Joel in that 36 VT entry here tonight has some damage from an earlier wreck that he was involved in. He is just trying to hang on to that car for the time being. Right in front of them, though, is the 12 of Tony Quadros. Remember, he was involved in that incident that put him to the tail of the field. He's been able to move up 8 positions since that time of incident where he restarted back there. He now runs into the 14th spot. Right ahead of him, it is the Vermont Cabinetry, number 20 of David Greenslit. He was into the outside wall. He was taken 4 wide at one point, and now he runs back here into the 13th spot. Brian Horan is 37, also a little bit wounded on the right front of that car. He now runs into the 12th position. But, man, it's all Ben Kowski out front here and Alan Young. They are starting to separate themselves from the Swanson entry, who runs right now third.
Yeah, 0.2 of a second separate them, but a good side-by-side battle for your fifth spot. LeMay trying to take it away from Kenny Thompson. Thompson on the outside. LeMay will take about a half-car length advantage. He gets a little bit loose off the corner. He's been dog-walking at number 4 off the corner. He's got a half a car length on Kenny Thompson down in the turn number 3. He can't be making those right rear tires happy right now, but he has a 1-car buffer over himself and Ware, who's closed in on this battle as well. Ware right to the back bumper of Thompson off of turn number 4. LeMay up the 5th, now sets sights on the Rebestis, number 14 of Jeffrey Battle as they work through turns 1 and 2. Ware taking a peek look low on the number 39 of Thompson off turn number 2.
Yeah, the 4 of Jonathan LeMay taking over the 5th position, like you said, and going after Battle. You talked about how LeMay was hanging the 4 machine out on that right rear tire just a couple weeks ago. If I remember back to the South Boston Speedway, Jonathan LeMay, every time he came off corners 2 and 4, had that 4-car complete sideways. Oh, a bump there to Jeffrey Battle going down into turn number 1. Battle going to go high in the Rebestis Ford Mustang, and he's actually going to try and cross back down over. Not going to be able to get the Jonathan LeMay's back bumper, but what will he do this time with that Ford Fusion when they get down here into turn number 3? He's going to look to the inside on the 4 of LeMay, but he's not going to be able to stick those Hoosiers down there and get the bite that he was looking for. Jonathan LeMay will take over that position, and he will start to run away about 2-3 car lengths that time by at the start-finish line.
Yeah, and Matt Swanson has cracked the whip. He's now catching the 24 of Alan Young, Benkowski. So it's going to be a 3-car battle up there. Now Swanson within 0.3 of a second of your race leader. Is now Battle's loose off the corner. He'll keep it pointed in the right direction. Will keep it green, but he'll lose multiple positions. Is the 14 of Battle, but now it's starting to become a 3-car battle for your race lead, and LeMay starting to close in on that as well. Ware has to get around Kenny Thompson to keep LeMay at bay.
Yeah, Battle once again sideways off the corner. That Ford Fusion is not handling very well. He was running in the 4th position just 2 laps ago. Now he is all the way back to the 12th position as he's trying to hold off the 20 of Greenslit and the 12 of Quadros.
The 35 of Durand backwards on the backstretch. Everybody's going to make it by. Yellow flag will fly on lap 51. The 35 of Milton Durand got the outside wall off of turn 2, and it spun him around. We're under caution, and the pits will be open for tires this time.
Well, let's throw it back and check what happened to the driver of the 35 of the Durand Motorsports entry here tonight. He was running right there behind the Danny Ware spot, so that was 7th on our timing and scoring. Let's see what happened to Durand. Oh, sideways. Oh, when he goes to correct it, the 35 just ends up holding up against that outside wall. Is able to keep it against the wall as everybody else was able to scoot on by, but that brings the caution out here just after the halfway marker. Al, you said it. Pit road is about to be a very busy place.
Yeah, your race leader, Justin Minkowski, going to lead the field down the green flag. This will be the only chance that the drivers have to put on 4 fresh tires, fix any damage that they may have. I know the right front has a little bit of damage on the 91 of Minkowski, so we'll see if they take the time to fix that or not, as the field will come down and pull into their field. Minkowski started in your 4th position, or 5th position, as the right sides go up on that car. So it looks like everybody at least taking right sides right now.
You think there's going to be any of those 2-tire stops tonight?
Yes, and I believe it's going to be the 3 of Swanson.
Well, roll the dice. Swanson will take 2 tires along with Thompson, Danny Ware, Kimball, Greenslit, Quadros, and Hodgdon. All going to take those 2-tire stops along with Kyle Buck. Your first driver to take 4 tires here tonight will be Alan Young, and, well, he is buried Or actually, it's going to be Benkowski, and he's going to be into the 9th position. So
LeMay will come off 12th, Roger. So the 4-tire change. I like the 4 tires, but I don't hate the 2-tire stop here. We've seen how important track position has been once you get up here towards the front of this battle. So it's going to be interesting to see what kind of ground the guys with 4 tires can make. I don't think there was any penalties on pit road, but it's going to be interesting to see how the 4 tires versus 2-tire strategy works.
Well, I got some good news for you, Al. We're going to find out when we go back racing, but it's Swanson, Thompson, Ware, Kimball, Greenslit, Quadros, Hodgdon, Benkowski, Buck, and Young, your top 10 drivers here. That is the only time, race fans, that you're going to see all those drivers down pit road, because they have now closed the pit road, and we are good to go on not only fuel, but we are good to go on tires the rest of the way here tonight in your season finale for the Northeast Racers presented by the LFOD Motorsports Group. Al, it's been great racing so far here. We're going to go racing with just under 20 laps to go in the final race of the season.
Yes, it will. Swanson with that terminal trucking number 3. Going to lead the way. The lights on the Ford Mustang pace car get extinguished as Jeffrey shows them 1 lap to go. Roger, some breaking news.
I don't know. What is it?
We are going to be going to North Wilkesboro pretty soon. iRacing announcing that it's going to be released in the coming weeks. How excited are you to see that track?
Well, Al, considering I am born in 1990 and NASCAR had stopped racing at that track before I was born, I don't know what it looks like.
Well, I've watched a lot of YouTube videos during this quarantine when I run out of Turn 3 Racing Network videos to watch, which I tell you is very hard to do. You guys we're on air 7 days a week, multiple times a day, so hopefully you're enjoying your Turn 3 subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and smash that thumb as we're going to go back green flag racing with just 19 laps to go. Green flag is back out, and we're underway. Swanson going to jump on the loud pedal first.
Jeffrey waves the green flag, and Swanson says, yes, sir, here we go. Turn 1, Swanson's out front. Kenny Thompson gives chase, and right there is Kimball in the 25 entry tonight. Matthew running the farthest. Oh, he's going to get contact with the outside wall there out of turn number 2. That could have been possible. The right side tire's not up to temperature, but right now Swanson has set sail, and the battle is right here. Look at Tony Quadros right there, just starting to poke the nose of the number 12 into this battle. Benkowski making up a lot of ground with those 4 tires already up to 6th.
Danny Ware working to the inside of the speedway. He's up to your 4-spot side-by-side battle, kind of stacking them up that time through the corner. We've got him 3 wide off of turn number 2. LeMay working the inside of the racetrack with his HSNG Erosion Specialty LLC's number 4 as they work down into the corner, but they're all chasing Swanson, who took that 2-tire stop to get that race lead. He was fast all night long. How much was he keeping hidden as he is really making the pony on this one, as he has opened up to almost a half-second lead over Kimball. First time Kimball's been up here inside the top 5 all night long. Good to see that driver rallying. Is now fast Kenny Thompson trying to make a move on him off of turn number 2.
Yeah, here comes that 39 entry here tonight. He'll go around Danny Ware and Tony Quadros. Now he will set his eyes. Oh, as here comes Danny Ware. Danny Ware's going to make contact with Thompson down there in the corner. Ware really drove that Ware machine off into the corner. Now behind him, Benkowski was sideways in the 91. We stay clean green with 15 laps to go.
15 to go. The fat lady is starting ready to send that lobster. Maybe it's a lobster streaming as we're going to have lobster here tonight as they work down the backstretch. It is Swanson showing the way, but it is Kimball trying to close chase in on him. Fast Kenny Thompson third. Danny Ware will slide in front of Benkowski. Here comes LeMay. He works underneath the 12 of Quadros off of turn number 4. They'll be side by side at the line.
Yeah, as they do that battle, everybody back there, Bingham having a little bit of issues on his 77 machine. He is trailing the field right now with a lot of damage on the Northeast Racer 77. Bingham running in the 21st spot, but it is all about Jonathan LeMay trying to run back down Danny Ware. He's going to pick off Tony Quadros right here, and now he's going to set his sights. Oh, here comes Quadros, actually. Somebody sounds like they were going around towards the back of the field there, but I believe they were able to hang on to it. Just a little sideways racing here at New Hampshire this time by to be 14 more miles of racing. And your top 2 drivers in the championship hunt once again have a sandwich filling, and it is going to be that 91 of Benkowski.
Yeah, Benkowski trying to work the outside of the speed. We got a little bit loose there. LeMay will have to do a little bit of evasive driving down in the turn number 3, but LeMay on the inside, Benkowski on the outside. They'll be side by side, wheel to wheel off of turn number 4. LeMay with a half car advantage. He'll really squeeze Benkowski up off the corner. They make contact, but everybody keeps it clean and green. Down the back front stretch, they go into turn number 1. LeMay now trying to close in on that Tony Quadros sponsored number 28 as they work out the corners. He works underneath the 39 Thompson. They'll be side by side off of turn number 2.
Right now, the points championship battle looks like this. Danny Ware, 0. Jonathan LeMay, 0. Put the gloves on, race fans, because this time by to be 12 laps to go. It's heads up championship racing for these 2 drivers. Right now, here comes Danny Ware to the inside on Kenny Thompson. That's the battle for 3rd. Jonathan LeMay just kind of sitting there laying in the wake of that 28 machine tonight. Wherever he goes, expect Jonathan LeMay to go, oh, how about Ware sideways that time? Now Jonathan LeMay had to make a choice. Hit the 28 and take us both to the rear, or go to the outside, and he goes to the outside, and now they are side by side in 3.
He sails it down into turn 3 and 4. Now they'll come off the corner side by side. Ware with the advantage right now in front of LeMay just by a half a car at the stripe. It'll be now coming next time by. Be 10 more laps to go. As now Ware gets the advantage underneath Kenny Thompson off of turn number 2. A little bit sideways. Will they go 3 wide down in the turn 3?
They still run it 2x2 stacked up there behind the 39 of Thompson. They just can't find a way to go around Thompson. Here comes LeMay. He's going to try the way outside lane. He's going to get the momentum, but he's just going to have nowhere to go as he is sandwiched with Ware down to the inside there on the 4. Now here comes Benkowski. He's going to dive down to the inside also. Kenny Thompson holding up the race leaders here. They seem like they may be a little bit faster, but Al, we say it time and time again, especially in short track racing. It is one thing to get to the driver in front of you. It is a whole nother thing to get around him.
Yeah, contact between the number 4 and the 28 down the backstretch that time. LeMay taking a peek to the outside of Thompson. Thompson is just kind of there, not doing anything wrong, but he's using the 28 is using him as a pick right now. LeMay going to sail it back in on the outside and Ware to the inside. This has allowed Marcel Gravel and that number 86 to come in. It's a 5-car battle, side by side, and the championship is on the line.
Sideways for Danny Ware that time out of turn 4 or turn 2 as they work into turn 3 and 4 here. It'll be 8 laps to go this time by. Your front runner right now is Matt Swanson. Then it's Matthew Kimball. Kenny Thompson right here with Jonathan LeMay and Danny Ware. You're watching the championship battle here tonight at New Hampshire. 8 more laps to go, and Kenny Thompson still is running in that 3rd position, right ahead of Jonathan LeMay to the outside, right behind him. And right to the inside, it's Danny Ware, your championship hopefuls.
Yeah, LeMay starting to get a little impatient, kind of gave him a little bit of a love tap through turns 1 and 2 that time. That time we might have Ware clear, but not able to make it down to the inside. Ware will pull back even to the inside as this battle races on. Here comes Marcel Gravel. He's on the outside of Benkowski. He'll take that spot. And up front, things are starting to heat up as well. Now LeMay is going to be able to get to the inside of Thompson, as that's the battle for 3rd. Your race lead, Kimball, now starting to apply all sorts of pressure to your race leader, as LeMay now going to be able to clear Thompson off of turn number 2.
Yeah, put the championship now back into LeMay's favor as it is in corner blue. As now LeMay trying to now work the inside lane. Could he get that spot from Kenny Thompson and then run away as we're at 6 laps to go this time by? Could he get another position between him and Ware? Because now look at Gravel. Gravel works that outside lane also. Will he be able to now scoot around the outside and in between Thompson and Ware?
Gravel going to take a look to the inside now as Ware will tuck it back in line. LeMay, only car on the bottom right now, as he'll sail it down in the turn number 3. He'll have sole possession right now of your number 3 spot as they work off of turn number 4. And as they come out corner, Gravel's going to change lanes, and he'll go underneath Thompson. Thompson scrapes the wall. 5 laps to go in the Northeast Racers Super Late Model Championship Series
Caution
is the yellow
flag out.
flag.
Brian Hoare going to go around. Milton Duran going to go around. Boy, Al, that's going to change things up here at the end of this one. If you weren't excited about just watching them race for that third position, put on your big boy pants, because now it is about to get interesting and it is about to get real. Milton Duran goes around. Brian Hoare goes around with 5 laps to go. We will have to see what the truck has in store for us here. Let's throw it back. They say they're going to throw it back a little bit farther than the incident, and we will be able to watch what happened here with the 35. The white Duran Motorsport entry of Milton Duran and the 37 here of Brian Hoare. You see, Duran up into the outside wall, and he tried to catch that car. It just seemed like it kept leaning more and more to the right side, and he goes up there, catches Brian Hoare. Hoare tries to back her down off the track because he doesn't want to get hit by anybody else. They make more contact, but a 2-car incident here with just 5 laps to go and a championship on the line.
Yeah, and I know that contact was made between the 37 of Hoare and 35 of Milton Duran. Early on, they were swapping paint before that, so a possible right front failure on the 35 of Duran, putting them into the outside wall. Good news is they should be able to come down pit road and get those cars fixed up here as we're going to go into overtime. Why would we not end in overtime? This has been a fantastic race, and it's only going to get better. I'm excited right now because now you're going to restack the field. You're going to double file them up, and we're going to go back racing here, Roger. And the championship on the line, the race on the line. Kimball was all over the back bumper of Swanson before the yellow flag came out. Is he going to be able to apply that pressure, knowing that the championship battle is raging right behind them? Could something happen where it takes out both our championship contenders? I don't have answers for you.
Al, take a breath, my friend. Take a breath. I know you're excited. We know it's the final race. We know it's a championship. We know it's a green-white checker. We know it's overtime here. Calm down for a moment.
Can't. Sorry.
Because I'm excited, too. Why wouldn't you want some extra racing? Are you crazy?
Well, probably yes.
Well, we knew that answer. All the fans knew that answer. But, talking about fans, Al, none of this would be possible without everybody tuning in, not only week in and week out here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. You mentioned it earlier. We have broadcasts that go on at all sorts of hours, all through the days, 7 days a week. You name it, we got it. From, obviously, you see these super late models out here. We got Cup Series, we got Dirt Series, Pro Dirt Series. You call it, we got IndyCar racing. And I mean, really, who does IndyCar racing?
Well, that's a great race. I watched that, is it Danny or Darkside Dave that does that? But anyway, the racing in that series is fantastic on Sunday mornings. You should tune into that. I highly advise that. It's pretty good racing, I thought. I like IndyCar racing, but, hey.
I like these super late models. That's what I like. These guys put on one whale of a show. We've been with them for the last 5 weeks. This is our 5th week with them out of the 6 scheduled. Tony came to us behind the scenes and said, hey, we really would like your product to showcase the drivers that we have here. And they are some of the best drivers, not only on the iRacing service in the super late models, but they are also drivers not only that drive pro stocks, they drive street stocks, they drive late models, super late models, open wheel or Whelen modifieds. All these drivers up here in the Northeast race in some sort of motorsports, and they are the best of their craft, and they are showing it here tonight at the New Hampshire Speedway with how they're able to hang on to these cars when they throw them sideways. But Al, you wanted more racing. The lights on the Ford are either off or broken.
Well, I'm going to say that they're off. I don't think our pace car driver, Mike, would turn them off or break anything in there. Maybe it would last race of the season for these guys. Maybe Mike is getting a little bit rambunctious. We got Mike and Jeffrey, and I don't know what else to say is the field's going to get doubled up.
Yeah, we also got to thank Rodney out there for everything he does behind the scenes here with the Northeast Racers. He's the man that's keeping all these drivers in control. That's probably more harder of a job than what Jeffrey has, because All eyes are on Jeffrey now. Don't drop the flag, but the green flag is out here at New Hampshire, and we are overtime racing for a championship, and it's going to be side by side down into turn number 1. Swanson not able to get away from Kimball, so they will go side by side. Swanson going to lose the lead here, it looks like. Here comes Kimball for the first time. He'll slide up in front of the terminal trucking number 3.
Side by side, make it 3 wide. Down in the turn number 3, LeMay taking a peek and look lower and as well. He'll be side by side with Swanson. Now Kimball showing away. Here comes LeMay. He goes, if I can win the championship, I'm going to win the race. As he comes off the corner, White Silk will fly the final trip away. Around side by side for your race lead. LeMay will sail it down in under Kimball.
Yeah, this is the final lap, and the championship leader is now battling for the lead. Started shotgun to the field here tonight. Here is Jonathan LeMay out of turn 2. He is sideways. That'll bring Kimball right back to the door. They will door bag just a little bit into 3. Who will be able to hang on to it for the final time through 3? For the final time off of turn 4, it's Jonathan LeMay. They're going to crash on the front straightaway. Jonathan LeMay is sideways. Jonathan LeMay is going to win now, not only the race, but the championship.
Marcel Gravel will come home second. Swanson will settle for third. How about that finish here at the Magic Mile? It was magical, and it was Jonathan LeMay from last to first. It took him all race to get there, ladies and gentlemen, but he has won tonight's 75 lapper in change from the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we'll pick up the LFOD Motorsports sponsorship package here tonight as the top 3 will come down here on the front stretch. Marcel Gravel, .009 at the line. That was an amazing finish. If that doesn't get your juices flowing, I don't know what will.
Well, Al, your juices were already flowing coming in, as now you look at it. Here is the driver of the 4. He is going to burn them down here in New Hampshire. Jonathan LeMay winning the race at New Hampshire from last to first, and he's going to win the championship. While he burns them down now, we're going to take a quick step away here and see if we can not only maybe get a word in with your top 3, but maybe your championship winner here at New Hampshire. We'll let him celebrate, fans. We'll let you watch him, and we'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. And welcome back here, race fans, to the New Hampshire Motor Speedway here for your Northeast Racers tonight, presented by LFOD. Al, there was a championship on the line, and it came down to a couple of these guys having to battle it out. Jonathan LeMay was able to win this race. Unfortunately, we don't have any communication with Jonathan LeMay, but what we can tell you is it's his second win on this 6-week season.
Yeah, he had a heck of a season. He won last week at 5 Flags. That catapulted him to a 1-point lead coming into tonight over the number 28 of Danny Ware. And we right now got the president of and organizer of the LFOD Motorsports, Tony Quadros. Tony, talk about what this means for not only LFOD Motorsports, but for Jonathan LeMay, as he had one heck of a season with you guys in this mini series that you have put together. Fantastic racing, by the way, here tonight at the Magic Mile.
Thank you. Yeah, we're really trying to put on good racing, and that's really what this league's about. We're pretty strict about that, and I think it really equates to really solid racing. Yeah, when it comes to this, I think it's great. Jonathan is the champion. We got to look at the points for who's second and third, but Jonathan's going to win a $250 racing sponsorship, so it's not just straight cash you do have to run the LFOD Motorsports logo on your real race car. But I think it's a great thing. I mean, this is all about supporting local short track racing. As we know, short track racing has gone down since the 90s, and anything we can do to keep cars on the track is what we here at LFOD Motorsports are trying to do. Again, we're a used car dealer in southern New Hampshire. So again, give us a like on Facebook, give us a like on Instagram, check us out if you're looking for a used car. But yeah, this is really about the drivers, about the racers, and we're really happy to put it on.
Sorry. Yeah, so that's a great thing, and it takes a lot of time and dedication, and it's great to see that not only you, but all the sponsors of the league coming together to make this possible. And I know next season, we talked to you a little bit earlier in the broadcast. Next season, you're looking for bigger and better things. If someone out there listening and watching tonight's race wants to step up and help out, how can they go about contacting the Northeast Racers to set up something with you guys and get their name out there? Because it's we saw great racing all season long. It's sad that it's come to an end, but hopefully you guys will be going real racing here within the next couple months.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're looking for sponsors for next off season. We really want to get it so it's $1,000 sponsorship for the winner, $500 for second, and so on. So yeah, anyone out there who's looking to get their name out there, not only on iRacing but at real short tracks, because it's a twofold sponsorship, that'd be great. But yeah, we're Hudson Speedway, Claremont Speedway, Monadnock Speedway, Lee Speedway, the 4-track. New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association. We're really looking forward to getting out there, and everyone get out to the local short tracks, have some fun, have a hot dog. It's a cheap night. It's a great place to go with your kids and have a good time. A lot better than being in the movies or bowling, things like that. It's outside, so get out to your local short tracks.
Yeah, I definitely cannot wait to support. Roger, I know that your tracks are starting to semi-open up, kind of fanless right now, but that's a good sign that we're going to the right direction here tonight. But what a finish. How about that? Jonathan LeMay beating out Marcel Gravel by 0.009 seconds. That is, I can't even describe how close that is.
Yeah, that's the closest finish we have seen all season for all these drivers. Jonathan LeMay just squeaking by with his HSNG erosion machine. He comes home not only your winner, but your championship winner. Also, Marcel Gravel is second with Matt Swanson in third. So, Al, it has come to a close here with the Northeast Racers. They put on some great shows over the last couple Sunday nights right here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It's sad to see the season really end, so the short track racing comes to an end on Sunday night, but don't worry. In talks to bring them back next year in the off season, like you heard Tony say, we're going racing at some point yet this season. You said maybe it might be fanless, but what we can tell you is there will be racing this year at some point. So congratulations, though, not only to your championship winner of Jonathan LeMay, but to all the drivers that competed right here in your Northeast Racing Series presented by the LFOD Motorsports Group. But for everybody over at the Northeast Racers and the LFOD Motorsports and, of course, the New Hampshire Short Track Racing Association, I can remember it finally now here at the end of it, and us here at Turn 3. We hope everybody is, 1, safe, and 2, we will see you at the races.